see Islam as the Antichrist and totally demonic, to people at the other end who see Islam as peaceful, friendly, and so on. But where can we get a biblical framework for thinking? In order to think about people biblically, where do we turn? Well, we turn to the biblical anthropology, the Bible's analysis of the human world and condition in Genesis chapter 1 to 11. How can we read Genesis 1 to 11 in a way that includes Muslims as well as everybody else? So my Christian theology of Islam is quite simple. Muslims are human beings. Thinking biblically about Islam, what should we think about Muslim prayer? What are Muslims doing when they're praying? All this fasting they do, does God like it? At the end is another picture of religion. Genesis chapter 11, verse 1, we turn to the Tower of Babel. Here we're moving from individual religion to community religion. And in order to develop this power, we are going to build a tower. And with the focus on our power and our rule, rather than God's. This is so dangerous that God won't have it. Islamic thinking, this people, man, and power triangle is under the rule of God. Biblical thinking, so we're going to move on. Being under the rule of God is not sufficient. You must have the actual presence of God in the centre of this. But also, in biblical thinking, the dangerous religion is not just Islam. It could be any religion. Noah's story in Genesis 6 to 9 is about God's own response to evil. You deal with evil by the judgment of the flood, or is there an alternative? Because the flood judgment does not cleanse the human heart. And what is it that we get just before God says never again? It's Noah's sacrifice. Cain and Abel's sacrifice. One's acceptable, one's not. Noah's sacrifice. It's acceptable, and it seems to change the heart of God. What's going on? Watch this space. Keep reading. Genesis 1 to 11 doesn't tell you the whole of the story. The other bit of blue is what I call the genealogy of blessing in chapter 10. As the nations spread out across the world, under God's providence, with their languages and their territories. He's got the whole world in his hands. Muslims, Christians, whoever we are. Every ethnic group, every territory is part of this. Reflect on this very simple framework. Individual religion, people seeking God. Acceptable, not acceptable. Dangerous religion. Political religion. People using religion for their own power purposes. Religion that tries to deal with the problem of evil. Religion of people who share in the coming death. Religion of people who function in ethnic groups. How those images of Islam that we thought of at the beginning might fit into this framework. In other words, have I done what I said I was going to do? And given us something of a view of humanity, which includes